Hi from Huntertown, Indiana. It's Soarin Hawk on the air. So today we have a special treat. We're going to be following some of our workers around and show you some of what we do to make things happen, get these birds nice and healthy and back out into the world where they're supposed to be. But first, big thank you for all you people that helped out yesterday with Giving Tuesday. We pulled in a lot of money. We know we have some checks and stuff coming in, and we're really grateful because we've had to give up a lot of programs which raise money for us because of the current epidemic. Well, anyways, the social isolation and things. So we've had a lot of programs that we've had to dismiss or cancel. So today we have a special treat. We're going to take you around, introduce you to some of the avian care crews, and take you out and show you what rehabbers really do. You know, I know you all think we all just stand around with birds on our hands and they look pretty and we look pretty and all that kind of thing, and we just go around and talk to people about it. But there's a lot of hard work that goes into it. So today we're just going to show you a small portion of what we do. So come on, follow me. We're going to go over here to the kitchen where we meet up with Mary and Kim. And so they take care of the birds. They're one of what, 7 teams, right? Got 7 teams that come in every day, 365 days a year. There is no Christmas, there is no New Year's, there's no Mother's Day. We work every day of the year because the birds work every day of the year. So who's going to talk first, Mary or Kim?
I'll start. First of all, I wanted to do a shout out to all of our volunteers. We have approximately 50 avian care volunteers that come out, like Bob said, 7 days a week to take care of these birds. This is the not so glamorous part of Soarin Hawk. So I just wanted to run through basically how our process works. You'll see behind me we've got 8 freezers. I think it's right. We've got 8 freezers. And in the freezers, we've got everything from fish, which thankfully we put out a call in January to our local fishermen, and they've supplied Jefferson with a lot of nice fish. So we've got fish. We have a lot of roadkill deer. We get rabbits that people donate. We get roosters, chickens, squirrels. We get it all. Another shout out is to one of our volunteers, Bridget, who we are on the call list to the county and Fort Wayne Police Department to get fresh roadkill deer. So she'll get these calls, and Bridget goes out with her truck, grabs that deer, throws it in her truck, takes it out, field dresses it, and then she takes it down here to Fetters, who is one of our neighbors, and Fetters quarters the deer for us. And then we've got another one of our volunteers whose name is Louie. Louie wears many hats here at Soarin Hawk, but one of the vital ones for us here in the kitchen is that he's our resident butcher. So he will butcher the venison off of the bone, put him in these nice quart bags that you see, and same thing with the rabbits. He will process all the rabbits, the chickens, all of that stuff. So all we have to do is grab the bag and thaw it. So that is vital for us. Some of the other food items that we feed, we get rats and mice and chicks, and the rest of it is game right now, the venison. The rats, the mice, and the chicks, we have to purchase those from a place up in Michigan is where we get those items. So our birds get a variety of different foods that we feed them on a daily basis. We do a 3-day thaw on our food. So in our refrigerator, like this would be Wednesday, Thursday, that's Friday's tub, and Saturdays. And in that tub is everything that we need to feed our birds. Currently now we have 25 birds on property. 16 of those are ed birds, 9 are rehab birds. And we have 7 rehab birds still in our ICU. So the amount of birds that we take care of each week can change depending on when those birds are medically released from ICU and come out here. But here is a snapshot of what we do and who is in what pen. So this is what we feed them and what we pick up every day. We record this data on this chart, then we actually physically enter it into our system that we use, which is called RaptorMed. What we'd like to do eventually is that we would have a computer station approximately here on this side of the room and another station over here. So that when our food comes in, the way this works is that we grab a pan every day. We have one for each pen. We go out, pick up all the food, bring it in here, weigh it up. In this case, we wouldn't throw this out. You might think this looks pretty nasty, but to a turkey vulture, which we have 2 of, this is a delight. So we will save these in a separate pan for the turkey vultures. If we didn't have the vultures, we would dispose of it. Then the pans are all lined up along with all the other dirty dishes, and they go in our dishwasher. Come out the other end, and what we end up doing is we come over here with the clean pans, and this is where we're going to start processing the food. So here's our food chart, which Kim has spent a lot of time going through and capturing the data on RaptorMed and reanalyzed it, and so we've made some changes. We were feeding too much to our birds, so we're now going to start feeding based on a percentage of their body weight. So each day's crew has this information available to them on our portal. A person puts this together once a week, Sunday through Saturday. So they'll sit there, they'll have their pan, and they'll say, okay, Ginger gets 0.24 of mice. So then they'll take the mice out of their tub, they'll put it on here in the pan, it comes over here, and we supplement their food with daily vitamins. There's Vita Hawk. We have a chart on the wall over there that tells them how much to give them based on the type of bird it is. Now Jefferson gets Vita Hawk. Jefferson's our eagle. He also gets Cosequin, and he gets a daily anti-inflammatory.
What's the Cosequin for?
For his arthritis that he has in his wing. So, and that's also what the anti-inflammatory is to make him more comfortable. He's the only bird that gets that. Now, one of the other things we can do for enrichment is these are dehydrated grasshoppers, freeze-dried. So we would rehydrate those, and we would give those to the screeches and kestrels, some of the smaller birds. They do like to eat the insects. So one of the things that people ask me when they'd like to volunteer, well, what do you do? What are some of the kitchen things? And I always say, if you can sit there, if you can handle one of these guys, and better yet, if you can actually whack it in half and serve it up, and thirdly, if you could then pick up his remains on a nice hot 90-degree day, then you got it made. You can do this job. So that rat would probably get cut in half for most birds. Jefferson would probably eat that whole rat. So in this day, we've got rats, we've got small rats, we've got chicks, we've got some game, and some extra chicks. So that's what Friday's tub's going to be all about, for them to serve up. Now, also in this building, if you notice back here, we've got a whole load of stuff up here. This is enrichment. A few of us went down to North Carolina Raptor Center and learned a lot about enrichment. So we have all these different items that will be turned into things that will go in the birds' pens, and they'll use that just to to play with. It's amazing. We've got one red tail. He just adores enrichment. We just take like an egg crate, and you put tissue paper in there, and he just destroys it. He just tears it all up. So he loves that. So that is what that is all about. We've had a little bit of a pause with it right now. With the COVID, we were down to 2 people per shift were out here. Now we've increased that to 4. And again, since we're all volunteer, it's up to the people to decide whether they want to participate or not. We've got enough people on each crew that if they're not comfortable coming out yet, they don't have to, because we've got enough people that can fill in. So, questions?
Yes, I do have a question. Can the general public access information and follow along with birds and their progress? I think they must be talking about rehab birds.
On the website. We do a really good job on that, soarinhawk.org. And if you know the date that the bird came in, we call that the intake date. So you can actually go out there, they're in date order. You go under the tab that says it says the birds, and then it's rehab birds. And then if they know the date that a particular bird came in, they can look and they can follow the story there. It's generally updated, I think, at least once every week or 2 weeks at most.
Yes, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So on the back of the board too, we will have different information that the volunteers will look at to find out, example, like this bird, and when I was telling you that likes his enrichment, he's going to a zoo down in Atlanta. It's actually Zoo Atlanta. So they didn't want us to actually work with this bird. A lot of times birds that are going to get placed, we will put jesses and anklets on them, and we will actually train them to the glove. But they didn't want us to do that with this bird because it's going to, they want to do PRT training with that bird, which is positive reinforcement. It's a food-based training, and they wanted to do that themselves. Or like this one, they did want us to start working with it. That's a barred owl that's going to the Wild Hearts over in Ohio. And just other communications, that come out from volunteers, to remind them of things that need to be done. So Kim is actually in charge of the husbandry, so she actually instructs us on a lot of the things that go on out here as far as, the care of the birds and that type of thing, what should or shouldn't be done. Plus, she also works ICU, so she does 2 things there. So she's familiar with the birds when they're coming from ICU, what their injuries are and what needs to be done. Mm-hmm.
Just because we don't have someone else fielding the questions and answers today, could you repeat the website again?
Oh, it's www.soaring, that's without the G, hawk.org.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So I think that pretty much covers how our operation is. One other thing too that makes us different than what we had before is, in addition to taking care of the birds, we also have a whole building to take care of. So all of the things in this building need to be washed, swept, scrubbed. We've got a bathroom that needs to be taken care of. All of this kitchen. We've got a whole extensive checklist that we put together that each crew goes through to make sure those tasks are all taken care of each day. And as we get grass and stuff, we'll have yard duties to do as well. So, and we've already had the snow removal part, so we've had to do shoveling on that, but
So our lists are ever changing.
yeah, they're ever changing. It's constantly evolving. And as I indicated earlier, some of us have been to North Carolina, to the Raptor Center there in Charlotte. Others have went to the University of Minnesota Raptor Center, which is another big Raptor Center up in Minnesota. So we've had 2 premier Raptor Centers that we're trying to use their best practices here at Soarin Hawk. Of course, what makes them different is they're bigger facilities and they have paid staff. This is a 100% volunteer organization. We only have 1 paid staff member. The rest of us are all here because we believe in the mission and we love the Raptors.
Got a couple more questions. One person asks how Jefferson is, that they met them at the Fort Wayne Zoo a couple of years ago.
Yeah, Jeff's doing great.
Yep.
We can go out and take a look at Jeff in a little bit if we want to check in on him.
And another question is, at what age can folks volunteer?
We generally start with the age of 16 when it comes to working in the actual kitchen area or out into the mews. We've had a young gal who started with us at a very, I think she was about 13, but she was only allowed to physically go to presentations, and she helped with our wings and feet table.
And her parents were with her too.
And once you're 16, your parent does have to be on the premises with you at all times. Then once you turn 18, then you can come out without a parent.
And work at the ICU.
And work in the ICU as well. So ICU, you must be 18 to work in. You can work out here at 16 with a parent. If you want to do presentations, we pretty much will
assist,
take. Yep. So, as long as you're willing to learn about the birds and their histories and everything about them, and want to go to presentations at a very young age, we would love to have you so that we can get you out there to teach people about some things that you've learned.
Okay, one more question. Do you wear gloves at meal prep?
Definitely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I was handling them,
those
they
are-
haven't been cut up yet, but
Yeah.
if I'm gonna whack it in half, I'm gonna be using gloves. The same with the picking it up because it's nasty, so
Yeah, and we have lots of hand sanitizer and soap and
soap and water
we
and
have
stuff.
we have running water, so we could definitely wash and
Yeah.
One more question. They want to know when the next orientation is, so I guess that's more for me. It's still not being scheduled. I have a lot of people on the list who want to come out. I'm thinking about possibly doing a few smaller orientations because I know people do want to come out, but also since we're limiting our crew sizes, we don't really have the crew, number of people on the crew to train new people. So hopefully in the next few weeks, I'll start with some of the smaller orientations.
Okay. All right. So I guess let's head out
Okay.
and see what we do outside here for maintenance with the birds.
Okay. So one thing we do on the inside here is we do work weekly checks on the birds on their weight and their keel score, which is the bone in the breast. We want to see how they're doing weight-wise. That helps us also determine how much food that they're going to get. Potentially, do they need a little more? Do they need a little less? We have a nice little Dremel here, so when it's time to cut them little toenails down, then give them a nice little file, and their beak, because sometimes their beak gets pretty sharp as well. So we have those things here. Our nice little first aid kit, just in case somebody gets a cut or something while they're out there working.
And there's our gloves.
And our gloves.
Can't be without our gloves.
Yep. So let's head on out. Okay, and we're going to go visit Cheyenne today. And there's Ginger talking to us.
For security purposes, all the doors are locked.
Yep, all the doors are locked.
Are
So
kept
we gotta,
locked except when we have access, need access in there.
All right, so let's go on in. Well, it's kind of dark in here at the moment. We're gonna have to shut this door behind us so it might get a little darker.
Bob's coming in.
Oh, you're coming in, Bob? Okay. So down here we keep a lot of our educational boxes so that when we do educational programs, we can transport them in here. Each one of these drawers over here has their gear in it to get them ready for programs. Then we have like some cleaning supplies. And then we do keep pellets when they come in from the owls, because we use those for our educational programs as well. Each pen usually has some information on who's inside, so we know we can actually turn this around because Sherman is back in there with us. So just a lot of different little pieces of information in here for people. Okay, so we're gonna back up.
And we have a real roof over our head.
Yeah, and we have a real roof.
And of course, this is a safety chamber, so there is
Yep.
netting on top, so
Yep, so no birds can
so,
get up
so
there
the
and get
birds
out.
can't get up there.
So we're gonna go into Cheyenne. Go ahead and shut this behind us. So this is my Cheyenne. So later today we have a crew that'll be coming out who is will be doing some cleanup. As you can see, Cheyenne has left us some nice poop over here in the corner. Oh, sorry, Cheyenne. So we'll get this all nice and clean. And then you can see down here on the ground, that's some food that she has left for us, and we'll get that picked up and weighed. And you can see all the white spots that are down here. We'll actually bring a rake in here and we'll kind of rake up everything to keep it nice and clean for her. Once the temperatures are up above freezing, they'll get a little bowl of water. Once the temperature gets pretty stable, they'll get a big bowl of water so that they can enjoy baths and everything like that.
Can I talk about the jesses?
Yep, the jesses here on her feet we use those to connect a little line to it so that when we take her out to presentations, that is to keep her safe. Each one of our educational birds has those on them. Some of our rehabs that we are able to work with, they also have those on there. And then you can see Miss Cheyenne has a couple toes that are not quite there. Miss Cheyenne got electrocuted, and so she has lost a couple tips of her toes. And her wingtips, I'm not going to touch her, but you can kind of see right here. Yep. She is unable to extend her wings completely, and then the wingtips were damaged from the electrocution. And everything in this pen will get scrubbed every day. Right now with the COVID, we are doing them about every 3 days. So they're a little messier than usual, which isn't too, I mean, this is probably one of the messiest pens out here right now. And you can see it's not, I mean, for us, it's not that bad. So we'll literally get a scrub brush. We scrub all the perches, we scrub all the wood. We'll get a hose and we'll scrub the mesh here. Some of our birds will literally get back here on the walls, on the metal. So we scrub all that down.
Now, what are you stepping on there?
Well,
you were stepping on something back there.
Oh, the perch? The platform?
Yep.
This right here is our feeding platform. So what we do is when they come out here and deliver her food, they'll put some of her food on the platform. They'll put some of her food like up on her perches. And what that does is it gives her a chance to kind of search for her food. We want them to have some enrichment by searching for their food. You can see here that she did have a toy. Looks like she destroyed it. Here's some more probably what was with the toy. So we'll get that cleaned up today as well.
Now that platform can be washed, right?
Yes, the platforms here we can take in and put those through the dishwasher. Those will go through the dishwasher every day as well. Her bowls go through the dishwasher every day. Anything that we can actually physically remove, we will try to run it through the dishwasher for cleanliness.
And sanitation.
And sanitation, yes, of course. So you'll see a few trees behind you there. That was just for a little extra wind blockage for now. When it gets a little nicer outside, we will be planting some bushes out there to break up the wind. And I'm sorry, I'm having talking, breathing through this mask. So there'll be some wind breakage there. And so we have a question? Sorry.
They want to know what kind of bird Cheyenne is.
Oh, geez. Cheyenne is a Harris hawk. She is not native to this area.
Right.
She is native to Arizona.
Arizona, New Mexico, and
Uh-huh.
all the way down into the savannas of South America. You'll find her, find them. Yep.
She actually was a falconer bird. So one of our volunteers, his son is a falconer. And this was his beautiful bird. He was out hunting with her one day and she landed on a power line that was live and was electrocuted. So he brought her immediately into the Dr. Funnel, and Dr. Funnel immediately identified that she was not going to be able to recover to go back out to be a falconer bird. So he donated her to us, and now she stays with us. He talks to me regularly and I give her updates on how she's doing. In the video, when you were inside, you seen a big parrot cage. It was green. That's her indoor cage, because she since she is not native to this area, when it gets really cold outside, we will actually take her inside so that she can stay nice and warm. And then when the temperatures come back up, then we'll bring her back out. And she loves her little cage in there. She just has a blast. We put all kinds of toys in there for her, and she's a chitter chatter. I'm surprised she's not chatting. That's her little butt wiggle. We love that butt wiggle. She's hilarious. When we feed her, she gets so excited. She looks like a little puppy dog. She literally wags her tail at us. All right, well, let's go take a look at some of our buildings that we're working on. I'll block this in.
Okay.
Where'd you go at?
All right, thanks.
Yeah, the facility here is still a work in progress. You know, there's things that we need to do. We got a little behind in our efforts last year due to the bad weather we had in the spring, so everything was well delayed, and unfortunately some things had to be built before others, and so but we're still working at it, and we're using the birds to tell us if they need changes, like the perches. We've had some of the birds have indicated they requesting a second perch, so we put a second or third perch in for them. We'll move the perches around. Some of the perches are portable, so we can move them according to what the bird requires.
Ryan.
What?
Go over here, Ryan.
Yeah. So, this is Orion, and red-tailed hawk. Unfortunately, at some point, he lost the vision in one eye, but he's flight capable, and so we made some adaptations for him. So he has a swinging perch, so he can get up there and he can swing back and forth and look out. And so it's a little bit of variety, and we're going to be adding swinging perches to some of the other pens as we identify birds that are actually capable of some limited flight to, and so they get up there and enjoy something a little different. The perches we have in there, the material we use is called poultry mounting or matting, and so those will be interchanged with actual sticks and branches and things like that. So the design is such that things are removable easily and replaced easily. So we'll adapt to what the birds tell us they want. Right, Orion? Yeah. So let's continue the tour. Yep. Yeah, follow Cam there.
And you can hear Jefferson in the background.
And what I forgot to show everybody, these are 2 pellets that we picked up in Jeff's pen. So that's how big they are.
And you can tell Jeff's been eating a lot of rat.
Yeah, that looks like a rat pellet.
Yeah, rat pellet. Yeah, so you can kind of tell what the birds are eating. So it's always kind of interesting. Yeah, especially if you go out in the wild, you can actually see other types of prey.
And what we'll do with these, we collect them and then we autoclave them, and then children can then dissect them. And we've got a chart that shows the different bones so that they can identify what they're finding inside the pellets. It's pretty cool. Now here's Jeff, and what I was talking about earlier about the fish, that we've got enough fish for him right now, but later on, once the weather warms up, we're going to be putting a pool in here for Jeff, and some of the fishermen had indicated that they wanted to breed him live hours, and I will get a hold of you once we're set up for that. So it'll be good enrichment for him.
So you'll see that Jeff is, he's got one anklet on, and the other one managed to work its way out. So one of our gals who works with Jefferson will be out here in a few days to get that back on him so that she can work with him some more. All these feathers that you see flying around everywhere, they're molting like crazy right now. So every pen you go into right now is just covered with them. No matter how much you clean them off, the next time you come out here, they're just covered again.
So you have a question?
Yes, somebody asks just if they could see some owls.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, there's Peabody right behind you.
Yep,
There's
Peabody.
Peabody.
Now we can go over here to Sherman and Skylar.
Yeah, hard to focus.
All right, we can go in.
Well, we're running out of time here.
Are we?
Yep.
Okay.
But let's just take a quick look at
Okay.
Peabody.
Okay. Yep, we'll take a quick look.
Yeah, a little too close, too quickly.
Hi, Peabody. Yeah, what happened, huh? We spook you a little bit? No, the barred owls are cavity nesters, and during roosting time, they would be inside a cavity, inside a tree. So we have supplied a little shelter where they can kind of get inside, so they feel a little more comfortable than sitting out.
I have another question. Someone asked if Jeff is a male.
Yes.
Yes. He's definitely a lot smaller than our normal females. He's actually he's actually pretty small for even a male.
But he was banded, so that's how we know for certain.
Yeah, he came down from Flint, Michigan. Gee whiz, what is it, about 6 years ago? 7 years ago.
Probably 7, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
7 years ago, and encountered a power line, and hurt himself, and got a little burn there on his, if you will, elbow, and so that thing is healed and everything, but it's developed some arthritis in it, and it gives him difficulty. So he can fly, but not very far and not very high. So he's, but he does pretty good. Going out to programs. Got another question there? Oh, okay. I thought I saw a
All
question.
right, let's
pop up.
walk over to our one building in process, and then we'll show you another nice building, and so you can see what we're doing here. I'll let the camera lady go first. Thank you.
So we're taking a walk over to our new rehab building, and this is for the birds that are not being used as exhibit birds or educational birds. And what this building will be is actually a very long pen for them, or mews for them. So that it'll be divided into 5 sections, and so different birds, depending on their size, get different length buildings. So the first or pen. So the first pen down there will be about 40 feet long. That'll give things like the great horned owls and the red-tailed hawks room to fly back and forth and move around. And then the next one will be about 30 feet long, and that will be for the red shoulders and barred owls. And then another section for the kestrels, and so they'll be adjusted accordingly, and it'll give these birds room to fly back and forth, and they'll be kept in a, if you will, wilder state. So they're not going to be like the exhibit birds over here. And so right now we're still doing some of the construction on this, and it's coming along quite a bit. And then starting next Monday, we're going to start the construction of our flight aviaries. And so we'll have big, long flight aviaries where the birds can actually go out there and exercise and fly freely. And that will reduce the amount of handling that we have to do with the birds and get them less habituated and less likely that something will happen to them. So,
Can we just show, open up the door and just show people that this is
sure.
on both sides that we are going to have used? And that there is a safety chamber
Right down the middle.
right down the middle.
Yeah, so
That's a pretty long building. How long is it?
it's
Bob, do you know?
86 feet long.
Yeah.
So it's 86 feet long, and like I said, it's divisible into adjustable chambers. So depending on the species we have, we can make adjustments to take down walls and move in different species. So, and then eventually next door to us will be the flight aviaries, which are going to be one's going to be 130 feet long, and the other one's going to be 80 feet long, and that'll give us lots of room for the birds to fly and exercise and get them out as quickly as possible. And it's a nice day today. Wow. Okay. So are we running out of time?
I think we wanted to look
Yep,
at
just
the
one more
great
thing.
horn.
One more thing. Oh, the great horn. Oh yeah, the baby pen.
Yeah, we got a baby pen that we've had to make. This building is not complete yet, but we had to do a pen in a good hurry.
Yeah. Very fortunately, we have some real carpenters and construction people.
And this down here is going. We have done a rescue of two baby great horns. Unfortunately, their nest was not. We could not locate their nest, so they are going to come and spend time with us. So we tried to do back here in the corner where there's a lot less people. This area we will pretty much come in, give them food. We're gonna leave. Probably not a whole lot of cleaning is gonna happen in here until they're gone. So we wanted to do some natural stuff for them. So they have a nice little natural perch down there. Since they will be learning to climb, we got some natural perches here for them. And I know this isn't natural, but they have a nice little laundry basket that we've Velcroed on.
Yeah.
So they can get in there for like a little makeshift nest.
Well, the Velcro is so we can take them inside in case it gets too cold out here
Yeah.
or weather gets too miserable. But they're great horned owls, so
Yeah.
they're used to miserable weather. So it's
So, but we have, this wall here for some extra shelter, for a little more privacy for them. And so, yeah, so we're kind of excited to get them out here and get them grown and so we can get them back out. And the same thing down here, we have a nice little platform down here that we can put food on if we need to. And, we can just kind of scatter the food around for them. And then if you look out back there, that perch that's out there, that's usually where we work with Jefferson. So,
It's
pretty
not
exciting.
coming into focus. There we go. Now it's in focus.
Okay. All right, I think Bob is going to see us off air.
I think so. Maybe. Yeah, a prairie out there. Yeah, I'm taking a picture of our prairie out here. So the prairie's been all planted with wildflowers. And of course, the first wildflowers that came up were the dandelions, but that's okay because that's taking care of our bees and other pollinators. But it's going to be primarily bees. But out in the middle of the prairie, there's going to be all kinds of mixed wildflowers that should be coming up. And we got a lot of wildflowers coming up right now. They're indigenous, and so we're doing quite well out here. And over the years, we'll be adding some stuff. We'll be the pond over here, the wetland area, is going to be excavated by the DNR, and we're going to put a wetland in. So there's a place there for something to keep our red-winged blackbirds happy, and the red-winged blackbird activity will keep Jeff happy. It'll give him something to watch. So anyways, I think you've gotten a kind of a view of Soarin Hawk and what we do. And, you're welcome to go back next week. Oh, got another question?
No, I was just going to say we wanted to thank everybody again for their donations from yesterday.
Yeah, right. Thank
Yeah.
you. And I want to thank all you people for tuning in, especially that lady down there in Australia, Yeah. So have a good day, mate. And this is Bob saying, see you next week, okay? Bye.
Bye.
everybody.
Bye.